Lucifero. All your pomp has been brought down to the grave, along with the noise of your harps. Maggots are spread out beneath you, and worms cover you. How have you fallen from heaven, morning star, son of the dawn? You have been cast down to the earth, you who once laid low the nations. You said in your heart, I will ascend to the heavens, I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit entombed on the Mount of Assembly, on the utmost heights of Mount Zophon. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like Most High, but you are brought down to the realms of the dead, to the depths of the pit. Isaiah. Hello geeks and gamers, Geek here with another random video. This time around I'm going to be continuing my Forgotten Spell series with part 2. I'll be covering the 3 big evocations that came in the 2 box expansions released with the Black Rose Wars game. The first one will be the big piece from the Inferno expansion. Fallen Angel. On the straight or light side, it's a contingency spell with an element type of any, and the target type is a room with the asterisk, so anywhere on the board. Summon Lucifero. Lucifero can act immediately. It's got the dot in the center of the card, so you place 1 instability of your color in the room that the spell is cast from. On the reverse or dark side of Fallen Angel, it's a contingency spell, and the element and target type remain the same. Summon 3 demon evocations in 3 different rooms. They act immediately. You cannot summon Lucifero or Barbarisha. With this spell, obviously I would prefer to summon the big bad himself, but summoning 3 demons is also not a bad choice. There are so many to pick from to meet your needs. And as I mentioned, he's one of the immune ones. As you can see, Lucifero is a demon type. He has a movement of 3. His attack value is 6. And you target 1 model up to 1 space away. And his health is infinite. On the top right hand corner of the Lucifero card, you'll see 2 small squares with a rose icon on them. These represent where you would place the fading counters. So he's got a fade of 2. At the end of each cleanup phase, you will remove 1 of those tokens off his card. And when you remove the last one off, the evocation card gets removed from the game. So he survives for 2 full game turns. Lucifero can't be targeted by effects or suffer damage. If the game ends and you still possess this card, you gain 3 power points. And when Lucifero model is actually in play, it'll follow all the rules that are laid out inside the Inferno rulebook under the Lucifero model on page 10. Il Decurio. On the straight side, it's a contingency spell, the profane element type, and the target type has the asterisk symbol, so anywhere on the board. This allows you to summon Barbarisha, and Barbarisha can act immediately. The card has the dot in the center of it, so you place 1 instability in the room that it's cast from. On the reverse or dark side of Il Decurio, it's a contingency spell. Element type is everything, and the room type remains the same. Take control of 3 evocations owned by other mages. replace their rose pins with yours, or if you're using the bases, replace that player's color with your own. The reverse side is kind of situational, as in most of these Forgotten Spell evocations. I would prefer to actually summon Barbaretia, because you get more out of the spell card itself. And here's her spell card. She's a demon type, with a movement of 2, an attack damage of 5, and 5 health. Similarly to Lucifero, she cannot be removed by spells. She can suffer damage, but only from other evocations. When activating Barbaretia, instead of activating her, you may activate any evocations in the lodge as if under your control. So depending on what evocations are actually out there, you can forego your turn during the evocation phase with Barbaretia and use that as the turn with them. So if Chrono is out in play, and there happens to be an opposing mage in his room, you can actually take control of him for that turn and deal damage. Here she is. This is Barbaretia. The next one is the Fallen Angel himself, Lucifero. Here's a close-up. As you can see, he has a pretty big size miniature. Here's a quick size comparison. For reference, as you can see, I got Skulltor here. He's also in Paint Purgatory at the moment. But this is him next to the Barbaretia model. Next to Lucifero model. There's quite the size difference. And so far Lucifero seems to be the only huge miniature that no other piece can occupy his space, but all adjacent rooms to him count as being adjacent to him.
Prague, Duke of Luxembourg. Chrono, death has no time. He observed the mages from the heights of his grandeur. They could never have imagined that the wrath of the Black Rose, incarnated by that cold colossus, would soon reduce them to nothing but empty shells, a miserable simulacrum of their former selves. The next spell up is Chrono the Eternal.
This spell, like the Black Limp from the promo video, has a foiled and non-foiled version. The non-foiled version comes in the Chrono expansion box, which is a Kickstart exclusive, and the foiled one was released in the Seder box. On the straight or light side of Chrono the Eternal, it is a contingency spell. The element type is any, and the target is yourself. Lose 3 power points to place 4 spells from your hand. This is actually a really powerful spell effect. If you place this one in your 3rd spell slot, you can flip it to reveal, and then take another full spell turn, and by that time usually all the other players have spent all their actions, whether they're casting spells or using their physical action tokens. Me personally, I like to use it in the quick spell slot, because I usually prefer to summon Chrono himself rather than use this one. And plus, with a sacrifice of 3 power points, that could make or break the game. Not that I wouldn't know from experience. But being able to play 4 more spells from your hand is actually a good thing. How that works is you just clear off your board and lay down your spells like you would. So you reset your board, and then you would activate them in order from spell 1, 2, or 3, or your quick spell. And one of the best forgotten spell effects in the game is the reverse side of Chrono the Eternal. It's a contingency spell, element type of it, anything, and it's a room target type, up to 2 spaces away. Summon Chrono. The room where you summon him becomes unstable. Take the room token. You cannot select the Black Rose room or the throne room. So when you plop Chrono down on the board, you actually get the token from that room. So that's handy when it comes to one of the more harder to destroy rooms, because they're worth more points. Here's his evocation card. Chrono is a myth type. Unfortunately, he has a movement of 0, so once you place him on the board, he's kind of stuck there until he's destroyed. He has an attack of 5, and his health is an asterisk. You can assign 1 instability to each room at up to 1 space away, and cannot be moved or removed by any effect. So as I said, he's going to be one of your immune evocations where you have to kill him. And his health is equal to 5 times the number of players in the game. So if there's 6 players, his max health is 30. And he can be hit with spells, so by damaging him with attacks or spells will work, but usually he's so tanky that other players don't even bother trying to kill him. And he works in tandem with the Bardic School Conspiracy, which happens to be a really fun school to play as. Those are the 2 of the spell schools that actually have a lot of take control of opposing mages and allows you to move them. And depending on how you have your spells lined up and stuff, you time them in tandem with their actions and activations that they've done. You can set it up so that you move them into Chrono's room, and when it comes time for the evocation phase, big fun happens. Here he is, the big man himself, Chrono. He's actually the biggest piece in game as of right now. He's so big that I can't get him all on camera. And here's a quick size comparison between him and Lucifero. As far as height goes, from head to toe, he's actually slightly taller than Lucifero. But if you're going from head to wingtip, Lucifero is taller than him. But as far as the amount of plastic on the model, Chrono has him beat. Here he is with a size comparison to the Barbarisha. And then we'll use Skulltor again, just as a size comparison for that. As always, the normal YouTube stuff. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, click the little bell notification icon. And until the next video, this is Geek, signing out.